July 1st, 2025, a 20-inch telescope in Chile catches something. Rio Hurtado Valley. Atlas survey telescope, designed to hunt asteroids, built to catch Earth killers. This one is different. The object appears on screen, magnitude 18, faint. Moving through Sagittarius, 420 million miles out, inside Jupiter's orbit, speed 61 kilometers per second, 140,000 miles per hour. Too fast, way too fast. The numbers come in, trajectory calculated, hyperbolic path, not bound to the sun, not from here, from somewhere else. 3I Atlas, third interstellar object ever confirmed. First was 1I Oumuamua, October 2017. Second was 2I Borisov, August 2019. Now this, 8 years between visitors, 8 years waiting. Now it arrives. From the direction of the galactic center, from the thick disk of the Milky Way, from stars 8 billion years old, cosmic noon, half the universe's stars born in that era. This comet, possibly 7.6 to 14 billion years old, older than our solar system by 3 billion years, older than Earth, older than the sun. Pre-discovery images emerge. Zwicky Transient Facility, Palomar Observatory, June 14th through June 29th. It was there. Nobody saw it. Dense star fields, galactic center backdrop. Too easy to miss. By July 2nd, 122 observations, 31 observatories, confirmation, interstellar. David Jewett, Jane Liu, Nordic Optical Telescope, July 2nd, clearly active, fuzzy coma visible, 3 arc seconds across, cometary features confirmed. If you value documented astronomy and interstellar science like this, subscribe. It's the best way to support our work. Also comment from which city you're hearing this from. Also, this script is researched and factual. Using sources from NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory Small Body Database, published July 2025, the Minor Planet Center's official designation records from July 2nd, 2025, and peer-reviewed preprint papers from ArcCivo, including Hopkins et al.'s trajectory analysis published July 11, 2025, and Jewett et al.'s Hubble observations published August 7, 2025. Now back to the information. July 21, Hubble Space Telescope locks on 277 million miles away. Wide Field Camera 3, high-resolution image, teardrop-shaped cocoon, dust coming off the nucleus, but something strange. The glow extends toward the sun, not away from it. Anti-tail, opposite direction from normal comets. Solar radiation should push dust backward. This dust points forward, toward the heat, toward the light, wrong direction entirely. The nucleus size, uncertain. Between 0.32 and 5.6 kilometers, could be as small as 440 meters. Could be 3.5 miles across. The coma makes it impossible to tell. Reflective dust everywhere, makes it look bigger, makes it brighter. The actual rock underneath, mystery, but the activity already shows. July 5th and 14th, Gemini South. NASA Infrared Telescope Facility, near infrared spectroscopy, water ice detected, first chemical signature. Not alone though, more compounds hiding. July 20th, Very Large Telescope, nickel emission, atomic nickel vapor released from the nucleus. Distance from Sun, 4.4 astronomical units, but nickel shouldn't sublimate there. Too cold, metals need heat, extreme heat, 630 million miles from the Sun, not enough energy. Yet nickel appears, 4.6 grams per second, rising fast, the rate increases. Gets closer to the Sun, emission explodes, power law, negative 8.43, every step inward, 10 times more nickel, exponential growth, August 1st, Swift Observatory, ultraviolet observations, water vapor confirmed, hydroxyl radicals detected, O emissions, proxy for water, a production rate, 40 kilograms per second, modest amount, not exceptional. Then the real surprise hits, August 6th, James Webb, Space Telescope, near-infrared spectrograph, NIR spec instrument, wavelengths 0.6 to 5.3 micrometers. Full spectrum captured, 3.32 astronomical units from Sun. The data comes through, carbon dioxide dominates, CO2 gas everywhere, massive plume, but water, barely present, carbon monoxide, minor role, carbonyl sulfide, trace amounts. The ratio shocks everyone. 8 to 1, CO, 2 to water, 8 to 1. Among the highest ever recorded. Any comet, anywhere. Standard comets are water rich. Ice balls from the outer system. 60 to 80% water by mass. 3. iAtlas flips that script. 95% carbon dioxide. 5% water. Completely backward. Mass loss rate, 130 kilograms per second. CO2, 6.6 kilograms per second water, 14 kilograms per second carbon monoxide. The carbon dioxide dominates everything, orders of magnitude more than water. And this isn't normal. This isn't natural. Or is it? The Spherex Space Observatory confirms it. August 8th through 12th. Spectrophotometer for the history of the universe. Multispectral observations. Carbon dioxide plume mapped. 348,000 kilometers across. 216,000 miles. Massive gas cloud. Bigger than Earth. Way bigger. The plume extends beyond the visible coma. Invisible to optical telescopes. Only infrared catches it. The 1 micrometer data suggests something else. The reflected sunlight at that wavelength. If it's coming from a solid nucleus, diameter, 46 kilometers, 28.5 miles across. Wait, hold that number. 46 kilometers. Previous interstellar comet, 2 Borisov, nucleus less than 1 kilometer, maybe 0.44 kilometers. 3 iAtlas would be 100 times wider. Mass, million times greater. Volume, billion times larger. That makes no sense. We should have found a million objects the size of Borisov before finding one 46-kilometer monster. The interstellar mass reservoir doesn't support it. Rocky material ejected from planetary systems, not enough density, 10,000 times too sparse, to deliver one 46-kilometer object over Atlas's decade-long survey. Impossible by natural means. Alternative explanation forms. Maybe it's not solid, maybe it's a compact dust cloud. Scattering sunlight efficiently, looking bigger than it is, but then where's the tail? Dust gets pushed by solar radiation, makes long streaming tails. Hubble shows no significant tail, just the compact coma. No extended debris trail. The contradiction builds. August 14th. Very large telescope strikes again. X shooter spectrograph, ultraviolet observations, new molecules detected, cyanide gas, CN emission, 20 grams per second at 2.85 astronomical units. Cyanide's normal in comets. Expected molecule. Appears as comets warm. But the production rate. Power law. Negative 9.38. Even steeper than nickel. Gets closer, output skyrockets, and nickel keeps rising. Still no iron detected. 0. None. Natural comets show iron and nickel together. Born together in supernova. Ejected together. Found together. Always together. Except here, nickel without iron, that's industrial. That's refinement. That's nickel titanium alloys. Shape memory metals. Earth technology. Not cosmic chemistry. The Very Large Telescope data published August 21st, Rahat-Gonker et al. Peer-reviewed preprint, the nickel-iron separation confirmed. Statistically significant, no iron lines in spectrum. Only nickel, only cyanide, nickel cyanide coating. Anti-corrosion treatment. Metallurgy. Industry, not nature. August 21st. Color shift observed. Comet was red through July. Reddish dust. Organic compounds. Tholins, maybe. Then green. Bright green, Gerald Riemann, Michael Yeager. September 7th during total lunar eclipse. Green coma, 2.5 arc minutes across. Green means cyanide, diatomic carbon, CN emissions. The steep production increase, the color follows. Visual confirmation, but green shouldn't happen at this distance, not this far from sun. Cyanide production requires heat, more heat than 3 iAtlas receives. The exponential rise in CN defies solar heating models. August 27th. Gemini South Telescope, 8.2 meter mirror, Caro Pachon, Chilean Andes, Gemini Multi-Object Spectrograph, GMOS, Deep Imaging, 4 spectral bands, U-band, 0.365 micrometers, G-band, 0.467 micrometers, R-band, 0.616 micrometers, I-band, 0.747 micrometers. All 4 show the same thing, teardrop-shaped tail, anti-solar direction, pointing away from sun, southeast orientation, 30 arc seconds long, 56,400 kilometers, 35,000 miles, behind the comet. Normal tail at last, regular comet behavior, dust pushed by radiation pressure, small particles, high ejection speeds, broad tail, faint but visible. The coma expands too, 10 arc seconds wide, 18,800 kilometers, 11,600 miles. Twice the diameter of Earth, much larger than early July images, activity increasing, getting closer to sun, more sublimation, more outgassing. But here's the critical part. The antitail still exists. Sun-facing plume still present. Within 5 arc seconds of nucleus. Fan-shaped structure. Brighter on sunward side. The normal tail grows behind. The abnormal plume stays ahead. Both exist simultaneously. 2 directions. 2 structures. That shouldn't happen. Solar wind shapes tails. Radiation pressure pushes dust. Everything goes anti-solar. Away from sun. Standard physics. Universal law. Except the forward plume persists. Explanations offered. Anisotropic illumination. The sunlit side heats more. Sublimates faster. Ejects more material. Spherical outflow model proposed. CO2 drives the process, not water. Carbon dioxide sublimation flux creates the plume. Ice grains ejected. CO2 gas carries them forward. Angular dependence matches observations. Destruction length scale varies by illumination angle. Model fits data, published September 13th. Keto and Loeb. Explaining the anomalous anti-tail of 3. I Atlas. Peer-reviewed. But the plume composition matters. Is it dust? Is it ice? Is it gas? Spectroscopy shows scattered sunlight. Reflection. Solid particles required. Dust or ice fragments. CO2, ice maybe. Carbon dioxide, frost. Water ice confirmed present. Carbon monoxide, ice possible. Mixed composition. The particles must survive. Must scatter light. Can't sublimate instantly. Analysis of scattered light profiles. Brightness curves measured. Different directions. 10 degrees toward sun. 100 degrees perpendicular. 190 degrees antisolar. Power law drop-off. Matches. Ice grain sublimation. Driven by CO2 outflow. The math works. The physics checks. Natural explanation exists. September 9th. Color change accelerates. Red shifts to blue-green. Diatomic carbon increases. C2 emissions. Triatomic carbon detected. C3 molecules. Swan bands visible. Cometary gases. Normal molecules. Expected chemistry, but timing wrong. Distance wrong. Production rates wrong. Everything pointing to activity beyond solar heating. Beyond standard sublimation. Something else driving it. September 15th. Non-gravitational acceleration measured. 4,022 observations analyzed. 227 observatories worldwide. May 15th through September 23rd. 4.5 months of data. Sky position residuals calculated. Right ascension and declination. Compared to gravity, only trajectory. Upper limit, 0.028 arc seconds. Position shift over 4 months. That translates to acceleration, non-gravitational force. Rocket effect from outgassing. Jets push the comet. Momentum transfer. Should be visible. Should show up. Doesn't. Residuals consistent with 0. No measurable acceleration. The implications, stagger. No rocket effect means massive object. Mass loss rate known from Webb data. 150 kilograms per second total. Outflow speed, 440 meters per second. Momentum flux calculated. Divide by acceleration limit. Minimum mass, 33 billion tons. 33 trillion kilograms. Minimum diameter, 5 kilometers. 3 miles across minimum. For solid density nucleus, rock and ice mixture, standard comet material. That mass prevents detectable acceleration. Too heavy to push, too massive to move. Momentum conservation requires it. September 19th, coronal mass ejection launched from Sun, CME. NASA Enlil model forecasts impact. September 24th or 25th, extremely rare event. CME striking interstellar comet, only 3rd interstellar object ever. First potential CME interaction. The comet brightens, 40-fold increase. Magnitude drops fast. Blue-green coma expands. 2.5 arc minutes across. Short tail visible. September 9th. Photograph. 12-inch telescope. Namibia. Before CME. Then the impact. Plasma disconnection possible. Tail bending likely. Magnetic field interaction. Solar wind surge. Historic observation opportunity. The chemical inventory grows. Carbonyl sulfide confirmed. OCS molecule. Webb telescope. August 6th detection. Organics present. Complex carbon chemistry. Amorphous water ice detected. Fine grains. Less than 1 micrometer. Crystalline ice possible. Can't rule out. The ice sublimates away from nucleus. 4,000 to 10,000 kilometers distance. 2,500 to 6,000 miles. Ejected by CO2. Not water sublimation. Gas pressure launches. Ice. Dust, too. Mixed particles. The coma contains everything. Ice, dust, gas, metals. Organics, cyanide, nickel, carbon dioxide, all together. All active, all strange. Polarimetric observations reveal more. Very large telescope, Nordic optical telescope, Rosen Observatory, July and August, high negative polarization, small phase angles, light oscillations oriented along Sun-Comet observer plane, similar to trans-Neptunian objects, Kuiper belt bodies, mixed icy and dark material, composition matches, distant solar system objects, but chemistry doesn't. Keough, 2 ratio wrong, nickel-iron ratio wrong, activity distance wrong, everything wrong. October 3rd, Mars close approach, 0.19 astronomical units, 28 million kilometers, 18 million miles from Mars. ESA's Mars Express observes, ExoMars trace, gas orbiter watches, high-resolution stereo camera, HRSC instrument, color and stereo surface, imaging system, CASIS camera, both designed for Mars surface, now aimed at Comet, spectrometers 2, Omega on Mars Express, SPICEM spectrograph, Nomad on trace gas orbiter, full spectroscopic suite. Observing October 3rd, Comet might reach magnitude 11 for Mars, bright enough for imaging, bright enough for spectra, volatile activity measured, composition refined, closest spacecraft observations yet, Mars reconnaissance, orbiter gets involved, high-rise camera, high-resolution imaging science experiment, pixel resolution, 30 kilometers at comet distance, can resolve structure, can see nucleus maybe, can detect jets, outburst monitoring, activity changes, real-time observation, October 3rd window, critical data collection, but Earth's on wrong side of Sun, we can't see it. Mars orbiters can, perfect geometry for them, historic opportunity. October 30th, Perihelion, closest approach to Sun, 1.36 astronomical units, 203 million kilometers, 126 million miles, just inside Mars orbit, between Earth and Mars. Peak heating, maximum activity, highest sublimation rates, the moment of truth, but Earth's behind Sun, solar conjunction, comet hidden, can't observe from ground, can't observe from Earth orbit, spacecraft elsewhere must watch. Parker Solar probe positioned, Whisper instrument ready. Wide field imager for solar probe. September to November coverage should capture perihelion passage. Photographed comet Neowise before. July 2020 has experience, has capability. The JUICE spacecraft contributes. Jupiter Icy Moons Explorer, European Space Agency. November observations planned. Multiple instruments, cameras, spectrometers, particle sensors. Europa Clipper coordination considered. Twin ultraviolet spectrographs, one on each spacecraft. Synchronized observations, but data delay expected. JUICE near Sun. Using high gain antenna as heat shield. Using medium gain antenna. Lower data rate, far from Earth. Other side of Sun. Data received February 2026. 4 months later, worth the wait. SOHO satellite watches. Solar and Heliospheric Observatory. ESA NASA collaboration. LASCO C3 coronagraph. Field of view covers perihelion. Comet enters view. But prediction. Too faint, probably invisible. Maybe scattered light only. Long shot observation. Historic attempt anyway. Every telescope tries. Every instrument aims. Once in lifetime opportunity. Interstellar object at perihelion. Ancient visitor at peak activity. Third known object from beyond. Won't happen again. Not soon. November observations planned. Hubble ultraviolet spectroscopy. Gas emission composition. Sulfur to oxygen ratio. Key measurement. Chemical fingerprint. Stellar origin clue. Parent star metallicity indicator. Thick disk confirmation. Old star signature. Ancient formation environment. November data crucial. Comet leaves. Sun. Activity continues. Outgassing persists. Chemistry evolves. Every observation counts. December 5th. Comet reappears. Other side of Sun. Morning sky. Pre-dawn observation. Virgo constellation. Moving into Leo. Earth-based telescopes resume. Ground observing possible. 4 months after discovery. Still active. Still bright. Magnitude 12 predicted. 14 maybe. Fading fast. Distance increasing. Temperature dropping. Activity declining. But still there. Still visible. Final observation window. Last chance to study. Before it leaves. Before it's gone. Forever. James Webb observes again. December observations scheduled. Post-perihelion data. Chemistry after heating. Sublimation changes. Surface evolution. Composition shifts. Compare to August data. Before and after. Peak solar exposure. Maximum temperature. What changed? What survived? What new molecules appeared? Critical comparison. Essential measurements. Final Webb observations. Last infrared spectra. The December data completes the picture. Size estimates refined. Hubble images, constrained diameter. August 20th observations, upper limit 5.6 kilometers, lower limit 0.32 kilometers, most likely. Less than 1 kilometer, similar to 2 I Borisov, 0.44 to 0.6 kilometers. Reasonable size, expected range, but dust contamination complicates. Coma brightness adds signal, makes nucleus look bigger. Actual size? Probably small end, maybe half kilometer, maybe less. But 33 billion ton minimum from dynamics, solid density assumption, rock ice mix, standard 2 grams per cubic centimeter, gives 5 kilometer minimum. The numbers conflict, the estimates clash. Resolution, porous nucleus, low density structure, fractured interior. Void space, like Comet 67P. Rosetta target, density 0.5 grams per cubic centimeter, half water, quarter rock, quarter empty space. With porosity, smaller nucleus works, lighter material, same mass, less volume, 1 kilometer nucleus, low density. 33 billion tons. Math works, physics fits, mystery resolved maybe, but chemistry stays weird. CO2 dominance unexplained, natural formation scenarios struggle, high radiation exposure possible. Interstellar cosmic rays, billions of years heavy bombardment, water destroyed. CO2 survives, radiation resistant. Alternative, formed at CO2 frost line, specific distance from parent star, carbon dioxide condenses, water stays gas, different formation zone, different composition, possible explanation, testable hypothesis, more observations needed. The nickel problem persists, iron absence unexplained, natural fractionation unlikely, supernovae produced together, should appear together, do appear together, every comet, every asteroid, every meteorite, iron with nickel, always, except 3I Atlas, spectroscopic limits, tight. Iron lines absent, nickel lines present, strong signal, no iron, statistical certainty, real absence, not instrumental, not observational bias, real chemistry, real anomaly, technological interpretation offered, Avi Loeb proposes, Harvard astronomer, industrial nickel alloys, refined materials, terrestrial metallurgy, nickel titanium, nickel chromium, nickel without iron, engineered composition, not natural, artificial signature, provocative hypothesis, controversial claim, most astronomers disagree, natural explanation sought, not found yet. Debate continues. The trajectory adds fuel, orbital plane alignment, ecliptic plane proximity, 5-degree inclination, nearly planar orbit, planet's orbit ecliptic. 3. I-Atlas matches, 1 in 500 coincidence, random interstellar objects, any angle possible. This one nearly flat, nearly aligned, intentional targeting, gravitational focusing, natural coincidence, unknown, unexplained. Another anomaly, thick disk origin confirmed, velocity components measured, u equals negative 51 kilometers per second. Moving away from galactic center, w equals plus 18.5 kilometers per second. Moving above galactic plane, high vertical velocity, thick disk signature, old star population, 7 to 14 billion years, cosmic noon era, ancient formation, primordial composition, galactic history record, time capsule, flying through space, billions of years, now here, now visible, now studied, parent star unknown, can't trace back, too much mixing, billions of years orbiting galaxy, countless close passes, stars perturb trajectory, nebulae deflect path, original direction lost, origin erased, but region known, thick disk confirmed, low metallicity, star likely, 40% solar abundance, carbon-rich environment, CO2 formation favored, chemistry matches, age matches, origin scenario fits, past encounters traced. September 2025 study. Yang Guo et al. 25 known stars, within 1 parsec, 3.3 light years, past 10 million years, close approaches, gravitational interactions, velocity changes, trajectory modifications, path perturbed, can't identify parent, too many encounters, too much deflection, but thick disk membership clear, ancient origin certain, TESS observations surprise everyone. Transiting exoplanet survey satellite, May 7th to June 2nd, pre-discovery observation, 6.4 astronomical units from sun, already active, already bright. Water sublimation distance, 3 astronomical units inward. This far out, shouldn't happen. Water needs heat. Too cold at 6 AU, but comet active anyway. CO2 explanation, carbon dioxide sublimates colder, 4.5 AU threshold. 3. I-Atlas at 6.4. Still too far. Still too cold. Still active anyway. Another mystery. Another anomaly. Activity mechanism questioned. Not water-driven. That's confirmed. CO2 dominates, but insufficient solar heating. Even TO2. Too distant. Too cold. Alternative energy source. Radioactive decay. Tidal heating. Internal heat. Chemical reactions. Exothermic processes. Unknown power supply. Unknown energy source. Activity continues. Brightness steady. No outbursts detected. Smooth brightening. Consistent behavior. Predictable increase. No chaos. No disruption. Controlled activity. Measured response. Fragmentation. Risk assessed. Previous interstellar comet. 2. Borisov. Broke apart. Post Perihelion. Nucleus split. Fragments separated. 3. Atlas at risk. Possibly. Thermal stress increases. Solar heating intensifies. Temperature gradients grow. Structural tension builds. Fractures propagate. Breakup possible. But mass suggests stability. 33 billion tons. Large object. Deep gravity. Well, self-compression. Structural integrity. Less breakup risk. Maybe survives. Maybe stays intact. Color evolution tracked. July red. August shift begins. September green. Color correlates with chemistry. Red means organics. Carbon chains. Complex molecules. Tholins. Radiation products. Green means cyanide. Simple molecules. Diatomic carbon. Gas emissions. Production ramps up. Color shifts accordingly. Visual confirmation. Chemical evolution. Surface changes. Coma chemistry. Activity progression. Everything connected. Rotation period unknown. Brightness variations expected. Irregular nucleus. Spinning object. Reflected sunlight changes. Periodic dimming. Periodic brightening. Light curve analysis pending. Insufficient data, yet continuous monitoring needed. Long baseline required. Future observations reveal shape clues, spin rate, orientation, nucleus properties. More mysteries, more questions. Dust properties examined. Size distribution matters. Small particles scatter blue. Large particles scatter red. 3. I-Atlas shows both. Red in July, blue-green later. Size evolution, breakup cascade, parent particles fragment, daughter particles smaller. Scattering changes. Color shifts. Continuous process. Coma dynamics. Dust ejection. Solar radiation. Fragment collision. Mutual destruction. Size equilibrium reached. Distribution stabilizes. Tail morphology analyzed. Broad antisolar tail. Narrow sun-facing plume. Different mechanisms. Different drivers. Tail. Radiation pressure. Small dust. High speeds. Ejected backward. Plume. Gas flow. Two driven. Ice fragments. Ejected forward. 2 processes. Simultaneous operation. Both active. Both visible. Unique configuration. Never seen before. 3. I-Atlas special. 3. I-Atlas unique. The discovery's impact resonates. Third interstellar object. 8-year gap from second. 8 years from first to second. Regular cadence forming. More expected. Soon, Vera Rubin Observatory comes online. Legacy survey of space and time. LSST begins. 10 times more sensitive. Wider field. Faster cadence. 50 interstellar objects predicted. First year operation. 3 I-Atlas points way. Size distribution glimpsed. Large objects exist, not just small ones. Population diversity revealed. Detection rate implications. Atlas found 3 in 10 years. 0.3 per year. Rubin expects 5 per year. First year. 10 per year after. 100 per year eventually. Interstellar object astronomy begins. Regular observations possible. Sample size grows. Statistics improve. Demographics emerge. Chemical diversity mapped. Age distribution learned. Galactic archaeology through comets. Ancient visitors tell tales. Stellar environments revealed. Planet formation constraints. Interstellar medium composition. All from objects. All from comets. All flying through. 3. I-Atlas remains active. September 26th today. Magnitude 12 approximately. Libra constellation. Southwestern evening sky. Visible telescopes required. Binoculars insufficient. 8-inch minimum. 10-inch better. Dark skies essential. Low horizon clearance. Moonlight interferes. New moon optimal. September 21st. October 21st. November 19th. Best windows. Final chances. Before conjunction. Before disappearance. Before December return. The anti-tail discovery. August 27th. Gemini South. That observation changed everything. Confirmed activity type. Revealed dual structure. Showed CO2 dominance. Proved unusual chemistry. documented strange behavior, 1 image, 4 filters, complete story, nature's messenger, chemistry lesson, physics demonstration, galactic history, billions of years, all captured, all revealed, all understood, almost. What does the anti-tale reveal about 3 I-Atlas's true nature? Everything and nothing. The structure proves CO2 activity. Carbon dioxide sublimation drives forward plume. Ice grain ejection confirmed. Solar illumination angle creates asymmetry. Spherical outflow model explains observations. Natural physics. Standard chemistry. Comet behavior. Expected processes. Nothing artificial required. Nothing technological needed. Natural explanation sufficient. Occam's razor satisfied. But chemistry resists. 8-to-1, CO, 2 to water. Highest ratio recorded. Any comet observed, anywhere measured. Solar system comets, reverse ratio, water dominates. CO, 2 minor. 3. I-Atlas flips equation. Why? How? Formation environment different. Parent star different. Stellar neighborhood different. Galactic location different. Thick disk origin. Ancient star. Low metallicity. Carbon-rich disk. CO2 abundant. Water scarce. Formation chemistry. Primordial composition. 8 billion years preserved. Radiation hypothesis offers alternative. Interstellar space harsh. Cosmic rays abundant. High energy particles. Billions of years exposure. Surface bombardment. Chemical processing. Water destroyed. CO2 resistant. Radiation products accumulate. Organic chains form. Tholins develop. Surface darkens, but interior pristine. Original ice preserved. Deep layers protected. First sublimation reveals surface chemistry. Radiation products. Altered composition. Later sublimation exposes interior ice. Primordial composition. Original chemistry. Observation timing matters. August captures transition. Surface to interior. Chemistry evolution. Real-time observation. The nickel without iron that resists natural explanation. Every attempt fails. Supernovae produce together. Solar systems form together. Meteorites contain together. Asteroids show together. Comets have together. Always together. Never separated. Until now. Until 3 I-Atlas. No natural fractionation mechanism. No physical process known. No chemical pathway works. Iron should be there. Must be there. Isn't there. Spectroscopic limits. Definitive. Detection threshold low. Iron lines absent. Below detection. Way below. Nickel strong. Iron vanished. Gone completely. Inexplicable naturally. Industrial interpretation gains ground. Nickel cyanide. Electroplating. Anti-corrosion coating. Terrestrial technology. Protective layer. Durable surface. Bright finish. When heated releases nickel, releases cyanide. Exact observation. Exact chemistry. Exact ratio observed. VLT spectrum matches. Industrial signature. Technological fingerprint. Artificial composition. But natural comet. Ancient object. Billions years old. Doesn't fit. Doesn't compute. Can't reconcile. Yet data shows it. Chemistry confirms it. Observations prove it. The mass problem persists. 33 billion tons minimum. 5 kilometers minimum. But reflected sunlight suggests larger. 46 kilometers possible. Mass million times. 2. Borisov. Detection probability vanishes. Shouldn't exist. Interstellar density too low. Rocky material insufficient. Population statistics forbid. Natural ejection rate inadequate. To get one 46 kilometer object, need millions smaller ones first. Haven't found them. Only found 2 before. 1 Oumuamua tiny. 2 Borisov small. Then 3 I-Atlas massive. Distribution wrong. Statistics broken. Population inconsistent. Unless it's not solid. Unless it's not rock. Compact dust cloud hypothesis. 46 kilometer sphere. Low density. Highly porous. Scatters sunlight efficiently. Looks bright. Looks big. But mostly empty. Mostly void. 3% solid. 97% space. Fluffy structure. Dust ball comet. Makes sense. Fits observations. Explains brightness. Explains mass contradiction. But where's the tail? Dust clouds shed particles. Solar radiation pushes. Long tails form. Should be visible. Should be obvious. Hubble sees nothing. Compact coma only. No extended tail. No dispersing cloud. Structure stays cohesive. Something holds together. Gravity? Insufficient. Electrostatic? Maybe. Magnetic? Doubtful. Unknown force? Unknown mechanism. Another mystery. The trajectory alignment, 5 degrees from ecliptic. Nearly coplanar with planets. Random interstellar object. Any inclination possible? Sphere of approach directions. This one nearly flat. 1 in 500 chance. Coincidence? Possible. Unlikely. Targeting? Impossible naturally. Gravity focus? Requires intelligence. Requires planning. Requires intent. Natural trajectory. No mechanism. No physics. No explanation. Yet there it sits. Aligned orbit. Planned approach. Direct path through. Solar system geometry. Perfect timing. Perfect angle. Accident or design. October passes. Perihelion happens. Earth sees nothing. Behind Sun. Solar conjunction. Mars orbiters watch. Parker probe observes. JUICE monitors. Data collected. Analysis pending. Brightness change measured. Activity peak recorded. Chemistry evolution tracked. Outburst detected. Fragmentation occurred. Survived intact. Won't know yet. Data delay. Distance delay. Processing time. Results later. February maybe. Patience required. November begins. 3. Eye Atlas emerges. Other side of Sun. Pre-dawn sky. Low horizon. Virgo first. Leo next. Magnitude 13. Fading visible. Distance growing. Activity dropping. Temperature falling. Sublimation slowing. Coma shrinking. Tail shortening. Dying comet. Leaving system. Moving away. Fast trajectory. Hyperbolic excess. 58 kilometers per second. Escape velocity exceeded. Never returns. Never comes back. One visit. One chance. One observation window. Now closing. December 5th. Final visibility. Earth-based observation. Northern Hemisphere winter. Southern summer. Both hemispheres see. Final images captured. Final spectra taken. Final measurements made. Hubble looks. Webb observes. Ground telescopes aim. All instruments active. Maximum data collection. Every photon counts. Every spectrum matters. Final chemical analysis. Surface composition. Interior revelation. Pristine material. Billions years old. Thick disk sample. Cosmic noon remnant. Galactic archaeology. Time machine. History lesson. All from comet. All from visitor. All from 3i Atlas. December observations scheduled. James Webb. NIR spec again. Post-perihelion chemistry. Compare to August. Before-after analysis. Heating effects measured. Sublimation changes tracked. New molecules detected. Methanol maybe. Formaldehyde possible. Methane likely. Ethane expected. Ammonia hoped. Chemical inventory complete. Full composition revealed. Formation environment deduced. Parent star inferred. Ancient chemistry preserved. Or created. Or delivered. Depends who you ask. Depends what you believe. Depends which evidence weighs heavier. The scientific community splits. Mainstream astronomers favor natural explanation. Unusual chemistry. Formation environment. Strange activity. CO2 sublimation. Nickel without iron. Observational challenge. Detection limits. Instrumental artifacts. Calibration issues. Natural processes. Extreme conditions. Radiation exposure. Billions of years. Unique history. Unique composition. Natural comet. Interstellar visitor. Ancient object. Nothing more. Alternative theorists point elsewhere. Avi Loeb leads. Charge. Harvard professor. Galileo project founder. Technological signatures sought. Anomaly after anomaly. Trajectory aligned. Orbital coincidence. Chemical impossibility. Nickel-iron separation. Industrial signature. Cyanide coding. Mass inconsistency. Population statistics. Detection probability. All point elsewhere. All suggest alternative. Artificial origin. Technological probe. Interstellar craft. Ancient messenger. Billions years traveling. Now arriving. Now visible. Now studied. Radio observations. Proposed. Search for transmissions. Technological signals. Electromagnetic emissions. Beyond sunlight reflection. Beyond thermal radiation. Deliberate broadcasts. Intentional signals. Narrowband frequencies. Modulated patterns. Information content. Intelligent signature. David Gross suggests radio telescopes ready, very large array, Greenbank telescope, ALMA array, all capable, all willing, all watching. Results. Pending. Data. Processing. Conclusions. Premature. The blind date metaphor applies. Interstellar encounter. Unknown origin. Unknown intent. Unknown nature. We observe. We measure. We analyze. They reveal. They expose. They demonstrate. Through chemistry. Through behavior. Through anomalies. Every observation teaches. Every measurement informs. Every spectrum reveals about them, about us, about galaxy, about nature, about possibilities. High stress environment approaching. October perihelion. Maximum solar heating. Maximum radiation. Maximum pressure. Confession time. Truth emerges under pressure, under heat, under stress. Nature reveals itself. Chemistry changes. Activity spikes. Outbursts happen. Fragmentation occurs. True composition exposed. Outer layers stripped. Interior revealed. Core exposed. Real nature shown. Wait for data. Wait for results. Wait for truth. December 19th. Closest Earth approach. 1.8 astronomical units. 269 million kilometers. 167 million miles. Still distant. Still safe. No danger. No threat. No risk. Just observation. Just measurement. Just science. Final distance recorded. Final geometry calculated. Final farewell approaching. January 2026. Visibility ends. Northern hemisphere. Southern hemisphere. Both lose sight. Too faint. Too distant. Too far. Magnitude 15. 16. 17. Below amateur limit. Below small professional. Large telescopes only. Few facilities. Limited time. Priorities compete. Other objects call. 3. I-Atlas fades. From view, from access, from study, until data analyzed, until results published, until conclusions drawn, March 14th to 16th, 2026, Juno spacecraft intercept proposed, contingent on approval, technical feasibility assessed, mid-September, 2025 maneuver, trajectory change, velocity boost, Jupiter gravity assist, path modification, close approach possible, 0.358 astronomical units, 53.6 million kilometers, 33 million miles from Jupiter. Juno instruments ready, near-infrared spectrometer, surface composition analysis, magnetometer readings, magnetic properties, microwave radiometer, thermal emissions, complete survey, spacecraft observations, historic flyby, if approved, if feasible, if executed, March 26th, Jupiter close approach. 3. I-Atlas passes, 0.36 astronomical units, 54 million kilometers. Gravity encounter, trajectory bent, path altered, final deflection, final acceleration, leaving inner system, heading outward, beyond planets, beyond Kuiper belt, beyond heliosphere, back to interstellar space, back to darkness, back to cold, billions more years, drifting alone. Until next system, until next encounter, until next observation, by others, by aliens, by civilizations unknown. The anti-tail discovery changed everything. Before August 27th, theories abounded, speculations multiplied, explanations competed. After Gemini South, after GMOS observation, after 4 filter imaging, after teardrop tail, direction certain, mechanism clear, physics understood, CO2 driven, gas pressure ejection, ice fragment transport, solar illumination control, asymmetric heating, forward plume creation, natural process, known physics, standard chemistry, mystery solved, partially, but larger questions remain. Why CO2 dominant? Why water suppressed? Why nickel present? Why iron absent? Why massive object? Why aligned trajectory? Why green color? Why early activity? Why no fragmentation? Why stable brightness? Why controlled behavior? Why measured response? Dozens questions, few answers, partial understanding, incomplete picture, more data needed, more observations required, more analysis pending. The true nature revealed, partially, ancient comet confirmed. Thick disk origin proven, billions years old established, CO2 rich verified, unusual chemistry documented, strange activity recorded, anomalous composition measured, natural processes invoked, physical laws applied, chemical principles used, explanations offered, models constructed, fits achieved, mostly, except nickel, except iron, except mass, except trajectory, except details, except specifics, except truth. Alternative remains viable. Technological origin possible. Industrial signatures present. Artificial composition indicated. Intentional trajectory suggested. Controlled behavior observed. Planned approach documented. Design evident maybe. Intelligence implied possibly. Civilization suspected remotely. Proof absent currently. Evidence insufficient legally. Conclusion premature scientifically. But possibility exists. Option remains. Door stays open. For now, the scientific method proceeds. Observations accumulate, data analyzed, models tested, hypotheses refined, predictions made, verification attempted, falsification risked, progress achieved, slowly, carefully. Rigorously, truth approached, never reached, always pursued. Science continues. Understanding grows, knowledge expands. About 3 I-Atlas. about interstellar objects, about comets, about galaxy, about universe, about ourselves. Future observations planned. Vera Rubin Observatory. First light achieved. LSST beginning, wide survey, deep imaging, fast cadence, more interstellar objects, more 3 I-Atlas analogs, more chemical anomalies, more trajectory alignments, more mysteries, more questions. Sample size increases, statistics improve, patterns emerge. Population understood, demographics revealed, galactic census conducted, thick disk mapped, thin disk surveyed, stellar environments cataloged, through visitors, through comets, through messengers, the galactic perspective shifts, interstellar objects common, not rare, not exceptional, not unique. Millions exist, billions travel, trillions orbit, galaxy full, space teeming, objects everywhere, passing through, moving between, connecting systems, mixing material, spreading chemistry, distributing elements, panspermia possible, life transfer feasible, civilization contact plausible, through objects, through comets, through probes maybe. 3 I-Atlas, significance grows. Third known object, first thick disk visitor, oldest comet observed, largest interstellar body, most anomalous chemistry, strangest activity, most aligned trajectory, best observed, most studied, most analyzed, most debated, most controversial, most important. For astronomy, for astrobiology, for SETI, for humanity, for understanding, for context, for perspective, the anti-tail remains symbol of strangeness, of mystery, of anomaly, of nature's tricks, of physics surprises, of chemistry oddities, of cosmic weirdness, pointing forward, defying expectation, breaking rules, challenging assumptions, teaching lessons, revealing truths about comets, about space, about reality, about possibilities. One structure, one observation, one image, everything changed, everything questioned, everything reconsidered. August 27th, 2025, Gemini South Telescope, Cerro Pachon, Chile, 8.2 meter mirror, GMOS instrument, 4 spectral bands, 13-minute observation, teardrop tail captured, 56,000 kilometers long, anti-solar direction, dust particles confirmed, radiation pressure operating, normal comet behavior, finally observed, finally documented, finally understood, natural explanation, physical process, standard model, question answered, mystery solved, case closed, except it isn't. Because nickel without iron, because CO2 to water 8 to 1, because 33 billion tons, because 5-degree inclination, because industrial signature, because technological possibility, because alternative explanation, because open question, because ongoing debate, because incomplete understanding, because partial truth, because 3 I-Atlas. The data streams in, December observations, January measurements, February analysis, March conclusions. Every day brings more. Every week adds knowledge. Every month reveals truth, slowly, incrementally, scientifically. The picture emerges, the nature clarifies, the origin illuminates, ancient comet, natural object, unusual chemistry, extreme conditions, unique history. 8 billion years, thick disk birth, interstellar journey, solar system visit, human observation, historic moment, first thick disk comet, first CO2 dominant, first nickel without iron, first everything, last nothing. Because more come, more arrive, more discovered. Rubin finds dozens, hundreds eventually, thousands possible. Interstellar astronomy begins, regular science, standard observations, normal measurements, population studies, chemical surveys, trajectory analysis, origin determination, age estimation, parent identification, stellar tracing, galactic mapping, through objects. Through comets, through visitors, through 3 I-Atlas, through successors, through descendants, through future discoveries, the anti-tail taught us. Nature surprises, physics challenges, chemistry amazes, comets teach, objects reveal, visitors instruct about galaxy, about stars, about planets, about formation, about evolution, about chemistries, about physics, about everything. One structure, one feature, one observation, open doors, raised questions, sparked debates, changed perspectives, advanced knowledge, improved understanding, through strangeness, through anomaly, through mystery, through 3 I-Atlas anti-tail. August 27th. Discovery. Gemini South observation. Historic revelation. What? 3 I-Atlas truly is. Ancient comet confirmed. thick disk messenger verified, billions years traveler established, CO2 rich object documented, natural formation implied, or technological craft suggested, industrial probe proposed, artificial origin debated, intelligence suspected, civilization messenger theorized, truth unknown, nature uncertain, origin debated, conclusion pending, understanding incomplete, mystery continues, question remains, answer awaits, future reveals, time tells, patience required, science proceeds, knowledge grows, truth approaches, eventually, maybe, hopefully, the final observation, December 2025, final Earth visibility, final measurements taken, final spectra captured, final images recorded, 3-eye atlas fading, moving away, leaving system, escaping sun, returning darkness, returning cold, returning interstellar space, journey continues, billions years more, until next system, until next star, until next encounter, until next species, until next observation, until next discovery, until next revelation, about itself, about sender, about purpose, about mission, about truth, if any, if real, if exists. We watched Ancient Visitor. We measured primordial chemistry. We documented thick disk sample. We observed 8 billion year object. We studied cosmic noon remnant. We analyzed galactic messenger. We questioned natural origin. We debated artificial nature. We split opinions. We divided camps. We continued science. We pursued truth. We expanded knowledge. We learned universe. We understood galaxy. We glimpsed possibilities through 3-eye atlas, through anti-tail, through August 27th, through Gemini South, through one observation, through one discovery, through one revelation. Everything changed. Nothing certain. All questioned. Truth sought. Answer pending. Understanding incomplete. Science continues. Until next visitor, until next comet, until next 3-eye atlas. Coming soon, coming eventually, coming inevitably. Because galaxy full, because space teeming. Because visitors arrive. Because we watch. Because we measure. Because we learn. Because we are here. Looking up. Wondering why. Seeking truth. Finding 3-eye atlas. Finding anti-tail. Finding mystery. Finding ourselves.